and I want to do a watch party at some point over the garden wall where we get a group together. But I'm trying to figure out what kind of food to serve. I think now rewatching it, definitely something with potatoes because potatoes
and molasses.
That probably tastes weird, so I'll just pass it.
But I mean, I think adding because potatoes actually pop up quite a bit throughout the thing. Like you see potatoes in the pilot. They're eating mashed potatoes in of course, the mashed potatoes in the molasses thing. But then you also see them eat mashed potatoes when they're at Endicott's Manor.
Oh, that's true.
Potatoes come up I was like, wow, potatoes come up quite a bit in this, and I think I want to at a watch party want to serve.
We also need pumpkin related stuff just because of Pottsfield.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Welcome to Under Pottsfield's
analysis.
You're lucky. We're lucky. Lucky thing we got dug up so we could come and do this podcast on. This is the Halloween episode.
Dug up, is that your like low key way of saying that of all that peyote we did just before?
What the fuck?
Now wait a minute.
Is that what the kids say?
Benjamin, we can't talk about that on air because then they'll know we're digging up peyote. That's illegal. That's illegal. It's super illegal because
we're not on over the garden wall is not something that we made up during our spirit journey. Okay.
Oh my god.
Well, okay. Because apparently we went on a spirit journey. That's why we dug up the peyote. It wasn't for recreational use. It was so we could watch over the garden wall.
And over the garden wall only exists in your mind when you do peyote. you go on a weird near death sort of Jacob's Ladder sort of journey. And then you come back not an asshole teenager.
And you actually give your mixtape to Sarah.
Yeah. Oh, man. If only I had given my mixtape to Sarah. Sarah. So, yeah. Hey, how's it going?
It's going good.
What's up?
Well, hey, it's our old friend Benjamin here.
Yeah, hi. It's me.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's here.
Benjamin, it's funny. I was thinking about this. It hasn't quite been 10 years yet.
It's been 10
years.
It's been.
Oh, nice. That was good.
Yeah, I picked it up.
Yep.
I picked it up. I was trying to get the follow through. Thank you.
Sorry, I was not picking it up, and I just started doing a demonic voice. I was like, 10 years.
Yep, Ben. It's totally Ben.
Yeah.
What about it's Ben? Ben.
It's Ben.
Yeah, it's Ben.
Ben.
You know.
Me. The one.
Benjamin.
I'm going to kill this joke and dig it into the ground.
Yeah, just like this ayahuasca that we took. Wait, did I change it? We said peyote earlier.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm on too much peyote to remember which drug we're actually on.
Well, it's funny. We probably should have been more careful what we had, because this is the Halloween episode.
Is it really the Halloween episode?
Yes. Because we're going to read a Halloween story.
Oh, shit.
Ooh,
yeah.
Spooky. I'm feeling, listen, I'm in the perfect fall, Halloween vibe, especially with being here with the two of you. So
thank you.
I couldn't ask for
we got Halloween decorations.
Oh yeah,
everywhere.
it's all decorated up. I wish everybody out there listening was here right now, because then you'd be like, oh my god, it's really Halloween.
We've got lanterns and candles and fun Halloween masks hanging up and ghosts and bats.
What's this that's written down 3 times? Oh, Beetlejuice.
No. Oh, no, wait, no, hold on. Turn it around. Candyman.
No! That's even worse! Wait, what if you got Candyman and Beetlejuice to fight each other?
I think Candyman. Well, I don't know.
Probably.
Beetlejuice is... Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
We could debate this.
Yeah, we'll get into that later.
But what I want to say is it's kind of interesting, because in it wasn't so long ago, I re-released the pilot episode that was just you and me and Sean and Ty and Kyle. The very, very first, before it was I even knew what the podcast was going to be called. It was just us reading Jeff the Killer.
Oh my god.
And so I just, I'm feeling nostalgic, because also 10 years ago around this time, I was preparing to get Midnight Marinara off the ground for the first time. That was actually 10 years ago.
Have we talked about how you pitched that to me in a hot tub like I was like a porn actor?
Well, just for the sake of... Yeah. I was like, I was just chilling at your place, and I was in the hot tub like, hey, Benjamin.
It was so weird. He had all this chest hair he had never had before, put his arm around me with a cigar, and Ben.
I had a Tom
I'm
Selleck.
gonna make you a star. I got an idea.
I had a Tom Selleck mustache.
Yeah, it was actually an awesome Tom Selleck mustache.
Thank you. I wanted to actually get his real mustache to gain his powers, but I just had to do an imitation one.
Oh
so.
yeah, I mean it's hard to beat the real thing. Like when you have to shave a head crab or whatever. You get that mustache fur.
I forgot that you pitched Midnight Marinara while you two were in a hot tub.
Yeah. Well, it was great.
I said, hey, I got this idea. I'm going to turn creepypasta into radio plays.
Yeah, I know. And
were you drunk?
Let's see. How 10 years ago, I would have been 20.
Oh my god!
I was exactly 20, actually. Yeah.
Oh my. Well, that doesn't. So yeah, because you were 20. We could say that you were drinking age appropriate.
You were drinking age appropriate juice. I had some juice.
Yes.
You know.
Just kidding. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. No. I don't know. I might have been. I don't know. I was kind of like a goody two shoes kid.
You were good.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I don't think I was drinking either. I was just excited.
And I'm not trying to retcon anything. If I had, I would say, but I feel like I wasn't. I just feel like I was high on life at that point.
I mean, I didn't start really drinking until I was 21 or near 21.
Same.
Yeah.
So I mean, we could go into a bit about. I mean, we could go on about this, but I just wanted to get across. Benjamin was there for the inception, kind of. I was one of the first people I talked to about that, and then of course, I'm just feeling nostalgic because not long after this episode goes live, and I'm going to put this out there right now, the final episode of Midnight Marinara is going to drop.
Oh, I just got
the 10-year anniversary.
I just got to. It's so good. I mean, I don't know anything about it other than the stuff, some of the details, the very vague details you told me.
Yeah, I kind of want to leave it a surprise.
David has been working hard on it. He's been editing. He's like, okay, good night, Kaela, and because I have to wake up early for work, and then and I can hear in the background him editing while in the night.
Yeah, I literally saw the contract that he signed with the devil just so that this episode could be made. Because you were there's some dark shit in here that I can't do unless I sign a contract with Beelzebub himself.
I went to the old crossroads at midnight, and I explained to the devil that I don't have a blues guitar, I don't have a harmonica, I don't have a trumpet. Yes. I'm just creating.
But I'm a wordsmith who can pen the delights of.
I still work with sound, and he said, I could work with that, and then we did it. But then I signed it. And then he walked away going, cha-la-la-la, cha-la-la-la, chop the wood to light the fire. Maybe I made a deal with the beast and not the devil.
Kill the beast.
Kill the beast.
Sounds like a delightful guy, though, honestly.
He's fine. He's good at opera.
Yeah.
So what are we reading?
So for this Halloween episode, it feels appropriate that we read a story sent to us by, our old friend Beth Morton. Hi, Beth.
Hi, Beth.
So this story is actually another one from the random title writing contest. Mm-hmm. This is the same one that we read. We read a story from Cleric of Madness not too long ago. And in the same vein, in the same month, we're covering another one of these stories. Beth's random word was Halloween.
Hell yeah.
So we got
what are the
ourselves
odds?
A nice Halloween story that is simply titled Take One. Now, initially when you read it, I thought, take one, slate. But I think I think it's just right off the bat, knowing the context. I think it's that idea when you see a candy bowl and it has a little sign on it that says take one.
Yeah.
I want to make one small thing already. I feel like it would help make clarity if the title was please, take one.
Yeah.
Just gonna say right now. I already understand the context, but that would give it additional context. Please take one.
It's a title, so I'm not too.
I guess we'll see.
But it's this is under cryptanalysis. We can afford to be picky. So
yeah, well, Beth gave us permission to be picky with this one, so thank you, Beth, for submitting this.
So we got negative 10 out of 1 for the title. Just kidding.
All right. Well, tell you what. I would like to offer.
Wait, dice roll.
That's a thing we started in the last episode. We might as well. So we're gonna roll for initiative.
We got a bag of holding here.
Yeah,
made by Kaela, I believe. Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I appreciate this.
That's
bag.
amazing. I still treasure the bag that you made for me.
All right.
Yeah, I make dice bags.
So flat D20 roll.
A 4.
Okay, that's a 4.
All right.
All right.
Benjamin, go ahead.
Ooh, I love this. This is also one of those nice metal dice.
Yeah. That's a 13.
Yesterday was the 13th.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, and, did anyone catch that solar eclipse we had today?
No. Did you?
Yeah.
I did.
How did it look?
Pretty cool. It looked like a chunk was coming.
That's a 17.
Whoa!
Looks like we're going
Massive
we're going
success.
counterclockwise. Okay,
Right.
based on how we're
So,
sitting.
here's actually, just for context, here's what the light looked like. With those are like, so...
Oh, cool. So you have
That's on our
one of those
bathroom
little
wall.
boxes. Oh, those is on the bath.
This
Over
is
the bathroom wall?
Over the bathroom wall.
Because
Because we have a window that looks and the light is just a reflection of the sun, but the sun had that little pie chunk taken out of it. It was amazing.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
And we had the glasses we could look through.
I completely spaced. I probably was outside when it happened, too.
Straight up at the sun, you're like,
I was like, oh, look at that! Ah!
All right, you ready to get some cozy vibes? We just
Yes.
watched Over the Garden Wall, so we're now in the perfect
Well,
mindset.
I'm sitting next to you, aren't I? It's already pretty cozy.
Aw,
Yeah.
aw. Well, I was gonna say, both of you were. I was gonna say, I think just feeling nostalgic. Both of you here with me have been integral to the inception of this podcast for sure. Undercooked Analysis. You were in the pilot. You were in the very first episode, Kayla. And so I think it's important that I acknowledge how much I appreciate both of you for being along for this journey with me.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm not
you.
ending Undercooked Analysis, but since I am bringing Midnight Marinara to a close, it's important to know that UCA would not exist without Midnight Marinara.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Always give love and appreciation to Midnight Marinara and the glorious masterpiece that it is.
It's all right.
I'm
ready.
think it's
I would-
fucking awesome.
Well, thank you. I am ready to do other things, but
Yeah,
what those
yeah.
other things are, I don't quite know yet. We'll figure that out. Anyway, I guess I
know
got the high
exactly
roll.
What they are.
I got the high roll, so I'm going to go first. A cool, gentle breeze rushed across the ground. The thick carpet of fiery-colored leaves was kicked up and spun in tiny whirlwinds across the ground, revealing patches of damp, browning lawn or black street beneath. The sounds of young children playing while waiting at bus stops carried far across the otherwise quiet town. Dark skies threatened to drop a thin layer of mist at a moment's notice. Roads disappeared into the far distance, fading to the lightest hint of gray fog. Atmosphere.
Ooh.
I like it.
Nice.
All right.
We love atmosphere. On the morning before Halloween, the atmosphere
There
there we go, was set for the perfect spooky night. But it seemed like there wasn't a single adult in Willowdale that agreed.
Willowdale?
Things are getting
Willowdale.
Willowdale.
Willowdale. Where all the widows go.
I zoomed in a little. Does that help?
And all the adults here are widows.
That would be, honestly, that'd be kind of a cool, short story.
Yeah, honestly.
Anyway, so it's Willowdale.
Willowdale.
I actually once read a short story called Motherfucker, which a guy said that he slept with only mothers.
Oh.
And it was just from his point of view.
Nice.
Fucked every woman in town.
Only the mothers.
Only the mother.
Only mothers.
They had to be mothers. He had a mother king.
The implication in my brain was that all of the women in town were all mothers.
And they're all... Well, in Widow... If it was Willowdale, they would actually be all married.
Wives of
Some of them could have been mothers.
Yeah.
Or are mothers.
Yeah. But well, anyway, we're getting into a tangent.
I just came up with a creepy premise. Yes, I know I'm going off tangent right now. But, okay, Willowdale. It's a town full of widows. But what if they're there because that's where the spirits of their spouses are?
Oh, fucking write that. That's
Very,
awesome.
very
Okay, yeah, you heard it here, but do not steal.
You can steal. I don't care.
No.
I mean,
Someone take that idea and roll with it.
all right, we'll take it. Bleep that all out and we'll write it.
Credit. Anyway, it's your turn.
Come on, kid. Just take the mask off, insisted the bus driver. The tired look in his eyes as he gazed down at me and the line of kids behind me matched his tone. You know the rules. I won't confiscate it from you if it goes inside your bag and I don't see it again.
Oh, Halloween Grinch. I groaned. I slugged my backpack off my shoulders, stuffing the transparent mask into it as I sat down heavily near the back rows. It crumpled papers and worksheets on its way inside. The clear face stared up at me with its empty sockets. The spray-painted cheekbone shadows and defined rows of teeth stuck out against my math homework. That's a creepy-sounding mask already.
Is it Jeff the Killer?
Oh,
I hope not.
Its gaze appeared sad, disappointed that its resting place for the day seemed only a few steps removed from the trash can.
back up in frustration, sealing away my costume's finishing touch. If the mask were alive, it and I would be equally frustrated that the blood-spattered face of my skeletal gunslinger costume was downgraded to your run-of-the-mill yeehaw cowboy.
Oh, that's a fun costume.
Oh, that would be sick.
So it's a transparent mask that's supposed to give kind of a skeleton look, I guess. Okay.
We love a sentient skeleton.
I mean, yeah, we all stand a sentient skeleton. I'd like to introduce you to Stan, the sentient skeleton.
Holy shit.
Hey, it's me. I got my bones. That's all I got.
Holy shit, I want to be a skeletal gunslinger now.
Oh.
Next Halloween?
Yeah.
Wait, have y'all listened to NADPod?
No, what's NADPod?
Not another D&D podcast.
Oh, you were telling me about this one. Yeah.
There's a guy played by Brandon Lee Mulligan. Who he plays a skeleton gunslinger, or I mean, I think he might have still some of his flesh or something, but he's essentially a skeletal gunslinger named Deadeye.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good.
I'm so one of my friends works on set for oh god, what is it called?
Dimension 20?
Dimension 20. And she has been to Brendan Lee Mulligan's place.
Oh, sweet.
For like after party. I'm like, dude!
Oh my
so
god.
Cool.
It's probably I'm just like imagining all of like the weird like tomes and trinkets in his place.
Oh my god, I can only imagine it's like a nerd paradise.
Yeah.
Was it
I did
you did the yeehaw.
I did the yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
There you go. 2 steps later, and a pirate sat himself beside me. What was probably an outfit well preened for photos first thing in the morning was already askew, revealing his blonde hairline, and an eye patch barely covered his left eye.
Hey, I love your costume, he said with a smile.
Thanks, I answered with a grumble. I don't.
The pirate, Cody, looked down at his feet with some sadness. I'm still trying to be excited. We're barely going to do anything this afternoon, but it still sucks.
It does, I answered. Just costumes don't make it Halloween. They're acting like we're not even allowed to say the word anymore.
Oh.
Ooh, what's going on here?
Was there some sort of tragic Halloween event?
Is this Footloose but Halloween?
Oh! So even worse Footloose.
Everyone died at a tragic Halloween related accident.
Oh my god. Yeah, and by the way, I'm not that wasn't meant to imply Footloose is bad. That was it meant to imply that getting rid of Halloween is worse than banning dancing.
I actually agree there.
Right?
Yeah. But I just picture at the end of this movie is that someone just screaming, instead of the usual thing is they're going, "Let's Halloween!"
Yeah! Look at all these Draculas!
I will say, looking back now, that's still a wild premise for a movie. Like,
yeah.
It's a town where dancing is banned.
I think we can agree that it's a very
it's a silly premise, but somehow because of it's like Roadhouse, just like the sheer commitment to like the idea that this isn't stupid and that everybody is 100% believes that this is real, like it works. Like and also it helps that John Lithgow is like the father is like
he is a very likable character.
Well, he's so likable, but also like there's a lot of like tragedy in his performance.
No, I know. I'm saying as an actor, he's.
Oh yeah.
I still think it's funny because he was originally cast to be Hades. I know again.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to UCA. He was originally cast to be Hades, and he actually filmed lines and all that. And they said it just didn't work. Yeah. And they still paid him, but they said it just wasn't funny, which I find is hilarious because even though they didn't end up using him, he ends up going to be on Third Rock from the Sun that year. And holy shit, guess who's fucking funny as hell?
Yeah. Well, it must have been like a tonal thing because, like, it's hard to imagine anyone else but James Woods doing that version of the of Hades.
Yeah, I think they clearly wanted. The directors clearly wanted something akin to what James Woods was doing. Yeah. But I don't think they could really say it out loud because really what they wanted was someone to be basically a parody of
Jeffrey Katzenberg.
Yeah. So like actually there was a point they were describing to James Woods what
is this going to turn up on the microphone?
Probably.
Okay.
Will.
Just so you know, Gracie, I mean, I'm sure this has been brought up before,
Gracie's
but Gracie's
urging us to continue.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wanted to hear the end of the thought.
I'll just basically, the directors explained to James Woods, like, oh, this is the type of character that Hades is supposed to be, like a cardio kind of. And James would answer, sounds like some producers that I know. That's when it kind of hit. I'm like, I will always recommend that you listen to our Hercules podcast because not Hercules podcast.
The Hercules episode of Animazings.
Yeah, because holy shit, the Hercules backstory is so wild.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
Partway through
My sentence, Cody had fumbled under his ruffled shirt for his pants pocket. He pulled out his DS and flipped it open to his Pokemon trainer running in circles and around. I hadn't got to get my copy of Pearl. I knew from talking to him in the days before that he was concentrating on rare encounters and egg hatching, and with his inability to multitask, he was done with our conversation. ADHD for the win.
Yeah.
I peered instead out the window, absolutely furious that this flawless autumn day was going completely to waste.
I'm curious what's actually happening. Let's see. Most kids hate going to school, aside from recess. However, as a kid practically raised on Scooby-Doo, this time of the year made it a lot closer to worth going to... This time of year made it a lot closer to worth going to. Seeing all the cardstock ghosts, skeletons, and ghouls plastered across the walls, the teachers coming to class in zombie face paint or a witch's hat, ditching the regular schedule for snacks and a festive craft of the younger grades, spending the last hours of the afternoon watching a cute Halloween cartoon on the roll-in TV. For an elementary schooler, it was the best way to spend the day before a night of candy collecting, aside from just having the day off.
I will say, that first sentence, that could be rewritten, but all the seeing all the cardstocks, the teachers coming, they all end in periods. This is when you want your
semicolon.
Yes, this is where semicolons should come into play. Honestly,
yeah, because they're all like referencing like a similar like concept.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's just a grammar complaint for the most part, but like all in all, this is actually very well descriptive.
Yeah,
very visual.
Yeah, well, this is definitely, I would say it's very visceral for our generation in particular, because, like, all this is...
absolutely.
This is, I mean, like, this must take place, early 2000s, right?
Well, if you've got a DS copy of Pokemon Pearl, then we're talking early to mid-aughts.
Also, the roll-in TV playing, it says Halloween cartoon, but for me... the one I specifically remember was one year in the first year of middle school before I started homeschooling. When I was actually like in public school, they put on the episode of Goosebumps where the girl gets like the mask.
Oh, that was like the first episode.
Oh, the haunted mask.
Yeah,
that is
I think it was because like I think they had established the mask before, and I think this was like a follow-up episode. I think. Because like and you correct me if I'm wrong if you know, but
there is a second. I know there is a second follow-up to the haunted mask. So the haunted mask is actually the first Goosebumps. No, it's not. It's not the first Goosebumps. It's like the second or third, but it was the first pilot. I think was it a two-parter or was it a full episode?
I don't remember.
But it is the first episode of Goosebumps. I know that for sure. And actually, it's probably the most spookiest and most uncomfortable.
Freaked the shit out of me.
But there is a follow-up with her brother. I think that might have been... Cause it was
because I watched the one where it was the girl, and she got the mask, and then the mask is obviously freaky as shit, and it's just she's going around, and then just like she's clearly starting to have like breathing issues, and she's like becomes like this like old person who can't like take the mask off. And
that's a different one.
Okay,
because that's not the David. That's not the same one because her face wasn't green, right?
No, it was like, it just looked like an old like that's gross person.
I think this is another follow-up one. There's one with her brother, but I think there was...
Was there a Haunted Mask Part 3?
I remember hearing about it. Like, so she wears like an old person mask, and then eventually she starts to become older.
Yeah.
But
she just gets stuck inside the mask. It's like...
I haven't...
It's so creepy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one, but I've heard of it. The first one, though... The first one is actually... Out of all the... Like, in all honesty, if you watch the Goosebumps episodes, they're very cheesy. They're very... Like, okay, this is silly. One of them has a young Ryan Gosling.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In the haunted picture one.
Sublime.
Yeah. I just learned recently that Ryan Gosling has a folk band that plays like Halloween music. Yes.
What?
Named Dead Man's Bones.
Oh my god. Wait, why is he the perfect human being? Ryan Gosling.
You're a real doozy of a paragraph.
Oh god, this is gonna be a tough one for me. I have trouble with long sentences.
You got this.
But this year was gonna suck bad.
All right.
Shit.
I have a feeling this might be a longer story, so I'm trying to
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, sure.
Focus fire.
A lot of things changed in class this year. Our teacher started to do lunch bag checks and sending some kids from home with notes to their parents if they didn't like what they saw inside. We had a lot of more assemblies about healthy eating and exercise and how bullying people was a mean thing to do. No shit. We stopped having the bake sale and flea market day in the first weeks back from the summer break. Damn. Okay.
Oh.
I get the whole healthy eating, exercise, and bullying's a mean thing, but it's kind of like the whole dare thing. I feel like it goes a little too. It's done a little dumbly. But what's up with the bakes? Like, no bake sale, no flea market.
Well, no, they don't want to the kids to get any sweets, I guess.
Yeah.
Damn PC culture is woke. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, in the early aughts. But this week was the worst of it.
We all got sent home with a bright orange slip in our planners for our parents to read. After Mom got it, she sat down at the kitchen table to talk about it with me.
Why, I asked. Why can't we just do normal Halloween?
Well, she started. She paused, and I could tell she was trying to think of a good answer, since she didn't immediately have one yet. I think you're really brave to not think any of these monsters on Halloween are very scary. Some kids aren't as brave.
Oh.
Some of them are pissing their pants because they're afraid of politics.
I think, the monsters on Halloween. What is this?
I'm starting to think that maybe you might be... Is it weird to say you might be onto something? Like, this is the school being like, we can't have these things in school anymore because... I don't know.
Because it's offensive to some people.
Let's see what happens.
She bent down and gently ruffled my hair. We can still do ours the same way, and I'll still pack you some candy for lunch on Friday if you promise to eat it at recess. Don't worry. I promise if you just eat it in the bathroom by yourself. Don't let anybody see the candy.
Why? Okay, for people who eat, why would you eat that in the bathroom? Okay, whatever. That was always gross to me when those losers are like, oh, I have no place to sit. I guess I'm going to eat it in the restroom. Dude, why would you do that? Go outside. That's gross.
I always made my soup in the toilet.
I worried.
That was, by the way, a sentence in the story, and not Kaela saying that they're worried about me making soup in the toilet.
Oh.
I mean, I'm worried about that too, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I continue?
Oh, I'm sorry, I worried?
Yeah, that was my line.
Oh, sorry. I'd grown used to all the decorations and themed activities over the years, but this time they ditched all of it in favor of mostly unrelated spirit days.
Wear a silly hat day.
Dress like a pair of twins day.
Bring in a photo of your pet day.
Wear a sports jersey with your favorite team day. Are they? Is this person English?
Oh, no, Canadian.
Oh, Canadian.
Yeah.
So they use the U.
Yeah, that's the Canadian U.
Okay.
The Canadian, the U and
There's
Canada.
a Canadian inside of all of us. The Canadian U.
I mean, you've told the story before, so it's okay.
Yeah,
we don't have
I
to
already
reiterate.
mentioned. I already the last episode had me going into a whole spiel about how I'm not Canadian.
Yeah.
Inside of us, there are two Canadians.
One snores
for dominance.
One snores like honk shoe, and the other one snores like honk wee 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 wee.
They initially made an announcement that Friday would be Wear Orange and Purple Day. A week later, though, I assume after a few parents complained, my mom probably included, it became Costume Day. But we were explicitly told that it had to be school appropriate and not aiming to scare or frighten. What is happening?
So they're allowed to bring costumes, but they can't bring anything that might be remotely conceived as offensive.
I feel like there's something more to it because she says it's good that you're not scared of the monsters. I'm like, oh,
yeah, maybe there is something. I wonder. I sighed as I stared out the window, watching passing cars kick up warm-colored leaves in their wake like rockets. Mom helped me pick out the outfit I was wearing to school that day, and I said I could make it as scary as I wanted before we went trick-or-treating. But I had to go to school vanilla. Yes.
I clutched my bag close as I felt the hard plastic mask press against my chest. The sharpshooter skeleton cowboy persona I planned to take on the next day was going to be so cool. But without his face, that's all it was. Vanilla.
I caught reflections of other kids in the glass. Fairies, princesses, Disney characters, animals, superheroes. It all felt so sad to me. Like the season lost its bite.
It's hard edge.
Yeah. To my disgust, I even saw a kid wearing the same hat, vest, and bandana as me.
Aww. Shucks.
Buzz at the same store.
With the bus pulled to a stop and Cody folding his DS away, having had no luck, we slipped out single file with the crowd of students. I was about to make my way inside when I caught the eye of another waving kid. As he waited over, I recognized who it was. I noticed his uncostumed t-shirt and jeans.
Hey! Brandon shouted, lowering his volume as we got close enough for inside voice. Hey! Meet me at the Mrs. Smith portable... Meet me at Mrs. Smith's portable at recess...
at first recess.
Okay.
Like a
portable?
Oh, that's it's like probably what, like you know how like some schools, they have like those outdoor units that are like trailer units?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, like you mean like those like bungalows that they set
Yeah, the little bungalow, like the little like outdoor bungalows.
School?
Yeah, I recognize that. Okay. It's a portable.
Well, let me take that one more time. Hey, meet me at Mrs. Smith's portable first recess, okay?
I like you, Miss Smith.
I like it.
I nodded.
You nodded.
I nodded as he folded back into the brightly dressed mob. I was a little shocked by the ear-to-ear grin on his face, as I thought Brandon might just be as miserable as I was. His strange behavior wouldn't leave my thoughts, even as I stepped into Mrs. Fleischer's classroom, recited the anthem, and raised my hand for attendance.
Is there I'm actually curious, because this is one of those things, forgive my ignorance, but I presume, like, reading it, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, but this is Canada. I assume they have a Canadian sort of, like...
There is a Canadian...
And there's a Canadian anthem you do in school every day, probably.
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, because...
but I know there's a Canadian anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still...
I know way too much about the history of the Pledge of Allegiance. That's why I'm curious. Yeah. And
why don't you go into massive detail about that right now?
Well, no, I'm not.
you should put in like a massive...
I'm going to do that. I do that enough at my day job. I'd rather not, okay? Not now. I'll put it...
I want to...
Okay.
I want to know!
Okay. Future Maureen, are you ready? Okay. Brandon and I had fun talking to each other sometimes, but I wouldn't exactly call us friends. Discussing ghosts and monsters with him was fun because he knew a lot. But he gave me the feeling that if we didn't have that one thing in common, he'd be my bully. He was a lot bigger than I was, in a grade above me, and his mom let him watch big kid horror movies. But he was just as passionate about Halloween as I was, so seeing him happy despite everything was really shocking.
Smack!
I blinked back into the present as the ruler came crashing down onto my desk.
Oh.
Raising my eyes, I met the gaze of the monster looming over me.
This isn't a saloon you can daydream your time away. Mrs. Fleischer sneered as she stepped back up to the chalkboard. The cowboy has multiplication trouble to do just like everyone else here. Oi! I don't know why I chose that
was
voice.
An incredible Canadian accent.
Yeah.
To everybody who I just read that to, I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
We're sorry. Let's do a Canadian YouTube apology. We're sorry. I groaned as I sat up straighter to refocus on my worksheet. Mrs. Fleischer was a miserable old woman. I knew that trick-or-treaters coming to her place the next day would be getting candy canes because she had already had all her icicle-shaped lights up and she hated fun. I secretly hoped that one day that somebody would egg or TP her house, but I could never do it myself.
How come no one ever soaps windows anymore?
Yeah, right? Oh, man.
Wait, soap windows?
Yeah, like...
Was that a...
That was a thing. That was a Halloween prank some people used to do, like, way back before, like, TPing people's houses was a thing.
Yeah.
You just rub soap all over people's windows.
Yeah.
It would leave, like, a foam residue. It was awful.
Yeah, and they had to clean it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
I just feel like that's just cleaning windows. But
Yeah, but you don't wipe it off.
Yeah. So like the soap stays. So it's like, oh, I can't see outside of my window.
Yeah, there's all this scum, soap scum that
but
sticks
if you
to
saw
it.
it, I'd be like, oh no, wash it off.
Yeah.
Thanks for cleaning my windows.
Well, it's also the thing. I think like if you try to open your window since it's slick, you open it and it just goes and falls back down.
Oh.
Yeah.
How rude.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta jump on that shit. As soon as the kids, you yelling like, "Hey kids, get off my lawn!" They leave. You go grab the water and then wash your windows.
Yeah. Is it me again?
No, it's
It's Kayla. Sorry.
Once we finished doing over our worksheet, we were set loose to the yard for a morning recess. A slew of characters brushed past me to the yard beyond with sports balls and toys in tow. A few girls hung close to the building to hide from the light wind. Their dresses and princess costumes were so thin and light that I'm sure it was uncomfortably cold.
That makes sense. I've seen some of those.
And Sarah got taken up by the wind, so she was like, her costume was basically a kite.
Oh no! I strolled over to the opposite side of the yard to where a pair of portables sat to find Brandon leaning against one. His feet trampled long, tall grass around the perimeter. These isolated classrooms probably weren't as temporary as they were initially planned to be.
What's that? I asked him.
He smirked. I can't remember the voice he did. You'll see in a minute. Let's get inside.
I like it. Wait, it's unlocked?
Yeah. He slunk up the stairs and pulled the heavy weather door open with ease. There's a horse or Bible club or something that usually meets here on Fridays that canceled for the Spirit Day Assembly this afternoon, and they forgot to keep it locked.
Is it dumb? My brain, for 1 second, thought there's a horse or Bible club. I'm like, someone lets a horse in there?
There's a whole club of horses that meet in there.
They go in there and they're like,
Well,
hey everybody, this is Fred. Hi.
I
want to steal.
We all we're all kleptomaniac horses.
I didn't think of it as horse club or Bible club. I thought if there's a horse or Bible.
Is there a horse or Bible club? Is it the horse or Bible club?
The horse and Bible club.
The horse and Bible. Horsing
around. Horsing around. Also, yeah.
Yeah.
I had something, but I lost it.
I'm sorry. It's okay.
I stepped in after him and slipped out of my outdoor shoes. Oh yeah, people do that.
Mm-hmm.
He ran in only regarding the light switch and trailed dirt across the polished floor to the front row of desks.
Younger kids' cartoon backpacks and lunch pails lined the back wall. The board was covered in the answers to a set of grammar questions. A multicolored fall tree made of creased cardstock and construction paper was plastered across one wall. It seemed like teachers weren't even willing to hang up a pumpkin, let alone a jack-o'-lantern. Yeah, I think the schools, either there's some conspiracy or this is one of those things where like people in this community are complaining about Satan's holiday and they're trying to get it out of the schools.
Yeah, that's the latter is my guess.
Yeah.
Brandon pulled a folded piece of printer paper from his pocket. Whoa, listen to that alliteration.
I like it. Folded piece of printer paper from his pocket.
And smoothed it flat across the desk. Come take a look.
I peered over his shoulder at the sheet. It was clearly a website page printed straight from Internet Explorer.
Yeah!
I can make out page 101 in the one corner and a long string of URL text in the other. Yes! There was a header barely legible against the dark-colored square. Almost definitely a garish color in its native pixel colors. I could make out something about magic spells and incantations. I love that this was printed from Internet Explorer.
Yeah, this is a really fun detail. I like this a lot. The page itself was a step-by-step process for summoning something called an All Hallows Eve spirit.
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh, shit.
Summon Jack Skellington!
Did you ever do a thing when I was a kid? I actually would find art from video games that I'd like. I'd print them out and stick them to my wall.
Oh,
when I was like growing up.
I think I did something similar to that.
Yeah.
Like I find promotional art for Super Mario RPG. I'm like, that's fun. It looked really bad.
Yeah, I think I did that for maybe like movie posters or like characters or something like that. What are we doing? I asked almost with a laugh. Oh wait, what are we doing?
Brandon, we're casting a spooky Halloween spell.
Dude, there's no way this is going to work. I briefly pointed to the summoning sigil halfway down the page. It was off-centered and just looked like a simple cat face on a pumpkin that I would have doodled on the margins of my notebook. My eyes then glided over to the tiny "Try these other spells" menu to the left. I yanked it out of his hands to read closer.
How to summon a demon. Conjure a spirit. Turn into a vampire. Unleash your where? I squinted. Dragon? Wait, dragon? Dragin? Brandon, this is so obviously fake. Wait, it was Dragon?
I because this is Unleash Your Were Dragon, but it's
it's a misspelled.
Oh, Unleash your were dragon?
Probably, probably, he said with a shrug. His mood seemed unfazed. But that's more festive than doing a ritual in the dark. What's more festive than doing a ritual in the dark? All this fall-only family-friendly junk is dumb. Fake or not, this is how I want to spend my Halloween at school. Not playing tea party dress up with a bunch of babies in the sandbox.
Damn.
Dude, Brandon knows his shit. No, it's just... I let his thought process sink in before combing over the instructions more seriously.
It felt a little silly to draw the cat face in chalk on the board, and even sillier to run through this chant in the dark while holding hands. Oh man, Brandon just wanted an excuse to hold hands. Aww. But I couldn't deny that there was also a bit of a thrill to it, because I also wanted to hold Brandon's hand.
This is a coming out story. I love it.
We stand. Performing a ceremony in a place we weren't supposed to be in, like, wasn't exactly as daring as breaking into a graveyard to use a Ouija board right next to the dead. But as a kid, it sure felt that way.
Okay, I'm liking this so far.
Yeah.
I like this story so far.
It's not as like crazy as like, almost getting hit by a train and having some sort of like, paranormal adventure.
in a scraping along the iron.
Oh, great spirit! I think I killed David.
Keep going, please.
Brandon spoke into the inky black. I could just barely see him. He had to have read the printed sheet many times over to memorize this. Great spirit of All Hallows Eve, we call upon you to bind yourself to this earthly plane. Show yourself to us. Sorry, I can really do it. And bless us with your supernatural powers for this autumn season.
He's here! It's the Great Pumpkin!
Whoa! Oh my god!
We're summoning the Great Pumpkin.
It's weird. By reading this story, we actually summoned the evil spirit.
So Charles Schultz did this first, but anyway.
Yeah.
I squeezed my hands tightly and spoke in unison with them. We welcome you now. Come to us in our time of need. So mote it be.
A chill ran up my spine. We weren't alone anymore.
I let go Brandon's hands as I felt them grow clammy. We sat in...
His hands turned into clams!
Holds hands clammy. Our spaghetti. That was such a stretch. That was such a stretch.
I dig it.
We sat in darkness silently for what felt like hours as I heard blood pounding in my ears, like it punctuated the incantation with a steady drum beat.
Then, over his shoulder, a bright orange face lit up the darkness.
Oh, fuck.
Oh! Go dig a hole out by the corn.
Your few hours of community service.
Brandon and I tumbled over each other, bumping into desks as their metal legs scraping pierced through the room. We rushed to the corner and I slapped my hand against the wall hard enough to sting repeatedly, searching for the light. I finally found the switch and briefly blinded the both of us.
When my eyes adjusted, that's when I saw it.
Sitting in the middle of the room, perched on one of the desks untouched by our mad scramble, was a kitten.
Oh! Yeah. The cat sat neatly, perfectly still, facing the two of us with its tail curled gently around its toes. Oh, its face was completely obscured, covered by a tiny pumpkin.
Oh my god.
Oh! Carved into it, with a candlelight glowing from a sourceless flame, was a face identical to the sigil still in the corner of the blackboard. The kitten's black fur and face disappeared when the collar met the gourd.
So it's a black cat with a jack-o'-lantern for a head.
Yes!
But the jack-o'-lantern is a cat face.
Yeah, and also there's like a legit candle burning in there, so there's like no like.
So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is a supernatural creature they summoned.
Yeah,
they
summoned the gourd cat.
Oh, great gourd cat.
Oh, great gourd cat.
It tilted its head, seemingly giving us a questioning glance, despite its carved expression remaining unchanged. Aww.
Brandon whispered a swear word under his breath.
Shit.
I was trying to think what's a swear word. What would you consider a swear word as a kid?
Ass.
Ass.
Yes.
But ass died 10 years ago.
I will show you that later.
Oh, please. I stepped forward and swallowed hard. What are you doing? I asked quietly.
Without I can't speak today. I swear to God.
I think we were all
Yeah.
struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We're all thinking too hard about.
Yeah.
Without averting
Canadians.
its gaze, a piece of chalk rose on its own. The lesson plan already written across the dark. Green was smeared away as if by a giant hand. In its place, the chalk scribbled a series of rune-like characters, a language that I could not read. It was then underlined before the white stick dropped like a stone and cracked against the floor with a sharp tink.
Are you the spirit that we summoned? I asked.
The cat nodded.
Brandon shakily got to his feet beside me.
It turned its head, looking around the room as its body stayed stationary. The pumpkin let out a groaning creak as it rotated like an owl's neck.
Oh, that's exactly what I was picturing.
That's so cool.
The air in the room suddenly felt like sticky summer heat. Looking at the face of the creature, the flame inside flicked and grew. It looked like tongues licking at its chops. There was an angry energy to that, despite the heat, instilled in an icy fear deep inside me.
Then there was a sudden pop, and the room's temperature returned to normal.
The two of us looked around, and we gasped as we took in the visual change.
It looked like a party store, and it exploded inside.
Oh no!
Also, I want to say that like the part about like the flames and like how it like got like super hot. I could actually like feel like the heat of like that scene.
Yeah,
That's
that's actually really good. Oh man, this is great.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Halloween cat.
Halloween cat. Halloween cat. Halloween cat.
Black and orange streamers hung from the ceiling. Swarms of flat bats were scattered across the corners. The plane tree was surrounded now by a matching paper graveyard, accented with jack-o'-lanterns, and a tiny haunted house in the distance. A sign against the door behind us read, "Trick and treats, if you please," in bright, blocky letters.
Across the top of the board was a banner with a phrase I thought I wouldn't hear for another 24 hours.
Happy Halloween!
Nice.
"This is amazing," I said, admiring its handiwork, wearing a massive smile on my face.
It nodded, pleased to hear that.
I could feel Brandon's fear quickly dissipate as he took in the atmosphere. Whoa, we should deck the halls. We should deck the whole school like this, he exclaimed.
I don't know, man. I opened the door to peer outside. If anybody finds out that we did this, we'll get in big trouble.
Come on, don't be a wuss. He pushed me aside to speak to the spirit directly. Hey, creepy Halloween dude, can you come outside with us?
Meow. It bent down, and in a series of fleshy cracks spouted a pair of large bat wings.
Fuck yes.
Whoa! Flying bat pumpkin cat!
This is like the combination of 3 different Halloween icons. This is great.
I love it. It flapped its way over to us and hovered behind his shoulder, waiting for us to leave. It reminded me a lot of a flying Pokemon or other Japanese cartoon mascot, trailing behind the hero. But the sound of a distant roaring campfire coming from deep within its orange face unnerved me.
Oh, I love that when you're near it, you can just hear the crackle of the flames in its head. That's cool.
And the screams of the damned.
He rushed outside with me. He rushed outside with it swooping over my head after him before I ever had a chance to protest.
I ran out to follow them both after quickly throwing my shoes on. The weather had started to change. The sky had darkened with heavy clouds and fat raindrops splattered onto the sidewalk with the slow drip of a leaky tap.
When I caught up with them through one of those back-facing doors of the main school building, the spirit had gone through another change. It stood next to Brandon in the hallway, now at chest height. It stood on gangly legs with a thin frame, while its tail poofed out into a more wolf-like bush.
Ooh.
Oh.
We like wolf-like bush. More wolf bush, please.
Oh, dear Lord. Help.
Because it's you, I think you're intending it to be dirty, but... It peered about looking for more decor as I felt the air around us heat up again.
An entire cast of haunted house characters suddenly popped onto the walls, their limbs posed out with butterfly pins at their pivots into jovial 2D dances. Witches, skeletons, and ghouls spread down the halls between grinning pumpkins.
Their stares seemed to be pointed at us, glaring down with a sinister look despite the happy positions, and it was uncomfortable to look at them in the eyes.
Before Brandon had a chance to get excited over the changes, the spirit leaned over to the dark window of Mr. Jackson's kindergarten class. A plain poster hung on the other side of an apple tree that read, Happy Harvest.
The spirit let out a horrifying screech as the sound of crackling flames roared through the echoing halls. Yikes.
Boy, that
was good.
Damn.
My skin felt like I was back at summer camp, roasting hot dogs on a humid night. Brandon's face grew pale as I could see sweat bead across his brow.
A pair of strong arms. A patchwork of green shades burst out of its bony old ones. Skin and hair fluttered to the ground like the remains of a pop balloon.
Whoa.
It's turning into its final
Is this
form.
the it creature?
It's evolving.
It can open doors now.
Oh, shit.
It reached out, the stitching across his forearms straining to hold gaps and tears through his flesh together. Ugh. And it ripped the door effortlessly out of the frame. Holy shit.
Oh, wow. Brandon's eyes were as wide as plates. I think we messed up.
You think?
This thing, this creature, this entity that was slowly evolving into some kind of amalgamate of Halloween icons stormed into the room. It kicked over chairs and tables like they were weightless. The room's temperature began to increase once more, and the decorations inside changed.
Fluffy fake cobwebs hung to the top corners. A large cauldron bubbled in the center of the room, boiling over with a haze of dry ice. Plastic body parts spattered with neon bright paint littered the ground.
I kind of love that. This is like clearly like a Halloween spirit, but it's summoning essentially just like store-bought Halloween decorations and sometimes cheap Halloween decorations. I love this.
And it's just encompassing and just scaring the shit out of people right now.
Yeah, now it's got like Frankenstein arms, a werewolf tail. Like this is amazing.
Yeah, this entity ate a Party City.
Yes, it did.
And
oh my god,
shitting out freaking spirit Halloween costumes.
I looked up at the hanging poster to find the cartoony orchard tree now had a teardrop-shaped noose hanging from it.
Oh! Stop! I shouted, stepping into the room. Brenna's hand brushed my shoulder, as if to hold me back, but there was no weight behind it. It only pulled my vest partway off my shoulder. You have to stop! This class is full of six-year-olds and...
Ooh, you two are going to be in detention for weeks, a familiar voice carried down the hall from my homeroom class, followed by the click-clack of heels sternly approaching.
I knew you two wouldn't sit idly by without causing a ruckus.
I realize it's probably an adult. I read it like kids, but
I mean, that is kind of a like a kid-like way of saying that. So I get that. Yeah.
I leaned out of the door frame to see Mrs. Fleischer motioning to the standees along the walls as she stomped closer. Just because your little demon holiday got cancelled doesn't mean you can ruin everyone's peace of mind with your games and pranks. She tore a decoration off the wall with a loud rip, leaving a skeleton's arm dangling from the jagged rip. Just wait until your parents hear.
I like that she's undeterred by the horrible amalgamation monster that's like literally transforming in front of her.
Oh yeah.
She looked up behind me and her face visibly filled with dread. I felt hot breath on my back. The Hallowgamut. Nice.
Oh, because it's an amalgamate, but it's a Halloween amalgamate.
Nice.
The Hallowgamut.
The Hallowgamut climbed and leapt across to the wall to stand in front of the two of us. Before we could register what was happening, we were hit with a spray of blood.
Whoa!
Holy shit!
Yeah!
Oh!
It was once a teacher who taught multiplication and division was pulled in half by its bare hands.
Hell yeah.
Whoa.
What was left of her slumped to the ground like a soaked towel, leaving a bright plastic skeleton where she stood. Holy
Whoa!
So wait, so she was changed on the inside to become a plastic skeleton?
Yeah.
Or was she always a plastic
Oh my
skeleton
gosh.
on the inside?
That's amazing. She was gone. She was dead.
She was dead, and we summoned the thing that killed her.
Oh damn, this got serious.
Awesome.
It turned its head to look at me, and I saw its flame had grown. Deep into its eye-shaped socket, I saw another wick thrash, and between the crackling, I thought I could hear the sound of a woman screaming into. Oh my god!
Oh.
I stared on as the bright light burned spots into my vision. It started to shrink smaller and smaller as the distance between us grew.
Oh.
So basically, what we thought was happening in Over the Garden Wall is actually happening.
Oh
here.
my gosh.
Oh, now her soul is in the lantern and it's burning up. I came to my senses groggily. Brandon was pulling me by the hand away further down the hall, and the pumpkin-headed beast turned to look out the window. I looked away, not willing to see or think about the red mass sitting underneath what otherwise looked like cheap plastic bones. He pushed me through the open door to my classroom before jumping in after me. He slammed it shut and shoved the heaviest desk he could immediately grab and just collapsed. It was like he turned into a rag doll and crumpled into a sobbing heap.
We're dead. We're so dead, he muttered to himself as he hugged his knees close to his chest. A reverberating boom rang out in the distance, and I could hear a chorus of screaming children from outside. Ah! It broke through the wall.
We are so dead, he continued to wail.
It's mad. I stared off toward the broad windows. With the blinds down, I could only see shadows of movement, but I could still hear the shrieks of my schoolmates. I felt something threatening to bubble up in the back of my throat, but I buried it deep down as I could. It hates that there's no festive decoration. It's like Halloween stuff is how it expects us to worship it, and since we're not celebrating, it's mad.
Oh. Brandon looked up at me with wet eyes, bewildered we were even having a conversation.
The website you found the spell on, did it have some kind of a banishing spell? I asked him.
I had to Control-Alt-Delete. That's why you have to summon it online instead of printing it.
Oh, yeah, because then you can just backtrack.
He shook his head slowly.
That's all it was, he whispered. I had to strain to hear him above the noises outside of children being murdered.
Oh my gosh.
I thought it was just a bunch of kids, making them up. And why'd you try it, you little dingus?
I need to go talk to it. I zipped open my backpack from its spot on the hook. I fished out the skeletal mask from inside and held the cool plastic gently. I placed its blank eyes peering up at me seemed almost stoic with its lack of expression despite everything.
It'll kill you.
Yeah, well, what do you think it's doing out there right now? I shouted. Oh, he shouted that. He wasn't saying it
That's
cool
all right.
like he's like John McClane. What do you think it's doing out there right now? I shouted. I'm not gonna hide in here. Well, that thing hurts most of everyone we know. It's probably gonna find us in here later anyways.
Brandon just bottled his body up tighter. He shivered like a dead leaf.
Your idea, Brandon. God.
I just swallowed leaves earlier.
Nah, I was just eating leaves.
So good. I took a... This is our character going, well, that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
I took a deep breath as I swung my bag over my shoulders. I stepped up to the window and slowly opened it. The screen pushed out with little resistance.
I'll see you later, I told him over my shoulder as I crawled through.
Oh, yeah, no, he really is John McClane.
Right? Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I love it.
The scene outside was nearly unrecognizable.
The school exterior had changed into the visage of a rotting Victorian home, painted in dark colors. The red bricks were replaced by rickety aged wood, and shutters hung from collapsing hinges from the windows.
A maze of plastic and straw-stuffed figures were posed around the lawn. Between tableaus of spiders, skeletons, witches, and wolves were tombstones and glowing jack-o'-lanterns. The colorful jungle gym was replaced with a giant lawn inflatable of a purple snake.
Nice.
Its jaws spread wide as its coils looped and tangled like bars I used to hang upside down from. The sandbox was a wooden tub, apple bobbing inside gently like ice cubes. The swings at the far back were an ominous pair of gallows swinging in the hot wind.
This is so cool.
Damn. Man, pumpkin, bat, ghost cat, I wish you were real.
The playground I spent hundreds of recesses on might as well have been the surface of the moon for how alien it felt.
I slipped on my mask as my clothes clung to my skin with sweat. I couldn't explain why, but it felt more comfortable to hide behind the made-up undead cowboy character's face than to confront danger with my own. I think that's smart, though, because if this thing responds positively to people celebrating Halloween, by putting on the mask, you're becoming the holiday. And it's
That's
becoming the
true.
plastic version of the holiday, too.
That and also this feels like the origin story for like being Batman or like the Grey Ghost.
Oh, I like the Gray Ghost.
The Grey Ghost was my hero.
Do you remember, like, I just remember the way he delivered that line when he sits up after having him doing just, the Gray Ghost.
Let's see.
Remember how that was Adam West? That was actually really
Yeah, that was
really
a nice
cool.
little touch.
Yeah.
Sorry, which sentence am I?
I did the alien. I think it's David. I slipped on.
I did that.
Yeah,
Oh, you did.
you slipped on. Okay,
Oh, yeah,
so
so
then I'm
sorry.
crows.
Yeah.
Okay. Crows swarmed in jet black silhouettes against a swirling storm. Both clouds and corvids congregated where the kickball diamond used to be. Also a great alliteration again.
Mm-hmm.
Corvids congregated? That's awesome.
That's very good.
It had been leveled by a sprawling corn maze, surrounded by lanky scarecrows and bales of hay.
There in the center lay the Halgamet.
It had become a writhing mass. Limbs, heads, and tails submerged and resurfaced at seemingly random blobs. Not a single holiday monster was unrepresented in this horrible nightmare as its giant figure sat heavily between the walls of golden stalks.
Even Boo, the Booberry like mascot from the cereal.
Oh no!
Oh! Looking into the now monstrous pumpkin's face, I could see 3 separate flames dancing inside.
Whose life had it taken? A teacher? A kid? Classmate? Friend? Cody? Was their body used to make one of these statues around me? There's no way for me to know.
Ooh, yeah, this is actually pretty chilling.
We established who Cody was?
That's
Cody was the pirate kid, right?
Oh,
yeah.
the DS kid. Yeah, okay.
I mean, this thing keeps evolving like a Pokemon. Once again...
Damn it, Cody! You just did science, and you didn't think about the consequences. You thought about what you could and not what you should.
You forgot to remove... You didn't move the bodies. You only moved the headstones.
You only moved the headstones!
Once again, I felt my throat clench, and I put more effort into dragging this feeling back down. I sprinted right for the maze.
As I ran through the haze of mass filling with condensation from heavy breathing, I caught quick glimpses of passing shapes between the Halloween props. A group of kids hid fearfully behind the bulky frame of an Egyptian mummy, toppled over on its side with outstretched arms parallel to the ground. crawling children littered the yard, their howls of pain and fear melding into terrible dissonant symphony of almost ghostly wails. Red patches stained the dying grass in so many places. As thunder boomed in the distance, the heavy rain felt like bath water.
Damn.
Wow. All right, that was a great paragraph.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
That is, yikes.
I couldn't be sure, yet as I got closer to the looming maze entrance, the schoolmates I weaved around appeared more gruesome. A girl in a fairy costume seemed to writhe in agony with a pair of fly wings bursting from her ears.
Oh,
No!
A boy with a Batman hood over his face choked and gasped as he sprinted past. His cape looked fused to his neck, spilling out behind him in a waterfall of bat-like webbed fingers.
Oh, he's mutating the...
Oh, I hate that.
How very a jumpstart 4th grade.
My puberty. I'm a Batman.
God, I would not want to go through... If that was what my puberty was like.
Oh,
holy
God.
shit.
I passed the kid in a cowboy costume identical to mine. He was face down, and massive spurs enlarged to the size of saw blades were embedded deep into his calf.
Oh! That could be you! A voice threatened as if that feeling bubbled up inside again.
Oh, God.
I fought against it, not giving myself time to think, as I rushed inside the tall stalks.
Bits of the hollow gamete burst through parts of the wall of the yellow crops. I weaved past the bony fingers of a witch, dove underneath the transparent wisp of a ghost's tail, and leaped over hairy limbs stretching across the floor. I ran further and further until the large mass of its main body filled my vision. It reeked of spoiled eggs, and the heat coming off it felt like the earth was burning.
Hey! I shouted up at it. Hey, you!
Every eye on the creature turned to face me, and the pumpkin's eyes peered down over the walls. Shit.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're no Halloween spirit.
A wolf's head bared its teeth and growled.
Wait, that's the frog.
You've just been a selfish bully. Halloween isn't just about scaring people. I stood on a hay bale to make myself taller. It's about having fun. You're supposed to dress up with friends, go trick-or-treating, carve jack-o'-lanterns together, eat candy while watching cartoons, scare your buddies, and laugh it off. Damn.
I pointed at the glowing face of the pumpkin. You're just scaring and hurting kids. That's not the spirit of the season. That's just being a self-absorbed jerk.
Yeah, you should, kill them and not scare them.
Holy shit. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Hundreds of faces screaming in anguish, its fleshy surface beginning to boil and bubble as my skin felt like it was sunburnt.
Ugh.
I ran behind a nearby wall and braced behind a hay bale.
There was an explosive bang!
My ass had exploded.
Thank you for the Cry Wilderness reference.
You're welcome, David. Sorry, I lost my where am
Oh, bang.
Right! A hot flash as flying crops ripped past me, and it was suddenly deafeningly quiet.
Oh, I read that as corpses before you read it out loud. I was like, flying corpses?
Crops, corpses. Yeah, it's still...
Yeah, crops.
What is a crop,
Corpse, if
buddy?
not a...
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, all you had to do was go and tell it was being a douche.
Yeah.
That's kind of impressive.
Hey, you're being a douche.
Well, let's see what happens.
After some time, I felt soft fur brush against my side. I coughed and wiped some soot from my eyelids. Pushing off my makeshift shield, I saw burning tufts of crops and scorched bare ground around me. Embers tumbled gently in the wind.
I looked down to see the pumpkin-headed cat figure that I'd last seen what felt like years ago. It nuzzled gently against me, running its body sideways against mine. Oh, I already forgive it. It's cute.
Oh.
The jack-o'-lantern's face seemed sad,
Aww.
almost apologetic as it looked up at me.
I slipped my backpack off my shoulders and pulled out my lunchbox. Opening it, I jostled its contents to put my small pile of candy on top. The hand shook as I turned it around and offered it to the tiny demon.
Here, I spoke softly. Take one. Happy Halloween.
Oh, that's the title! He said the thing!
It still killed, multiple people.
I forgive it. It's fine. They all seem like assholes anyway. It slowly lifted its head and scooped 2 wrapped sweets into its carved mouth.
Asshole, it took 2.
Oh! They gently fizzled over its now shrinking flame.
In a quiet voice that's like the sound of a gentle breeze whistling through the autumn trees, it spoke. It sounded like a kid, younger than I was, that struggled like someone speaking a second language.
Thank you.
Also, I just want to say a gentle breeze with whistling through autumn trees.
Yeah.
A gentle breeze in autumn trees.
These are some great there are some great sentences in this.
Yeah.
A lot of great descriptions, shit.
The pumpkin fell to the ground and smashed open with a thud. As its body collapsed to ashes, the flame inside extinguished.
Poof.
The presence was gone. It returned to the unknown realm it came from. Okay, it's not over. There's still going to be... Let's see what happens.
It was over!
Well, apparently it was over. The sound of emergency vehicles quickly approaching was barely audible in the distance. That feeling resurfaced, and this final time, after everything, I had no strength left to fight it off.
I curled up, laying between the smoldering rubble, the clear face lifted across my brow to rest on the hot dirt.
My body then threw itself into violent, heaving sobs.
Damn.
Oh, that was cool.
Nice. I'm glad they didn't like retcon the whole thing. Like because normally at like the end of these Halloween stories, like when the evil gets like sucked away, like people like all like come back and like everything's like fine.
No.
Damn, there's gonna be a kid with giant like cowboy spurs attached to their feet for life, and a weird bat kid.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know how much of that would ever. I don't know how much of that will actually get undone.
Yeah.
Or if any of it got undone. Maybe there will be a kid with.
It didn't say what got undone. Just this kid. All we know is that there's emergency vehicles coming.
Yeah.
And hopefully some things got undone, but.
So is the implication at the beginning that like some other kid had done this before and they were like banning it to prevent?
I'm thinking it's more Christian.
Yeah.
Small town.
Yeah, the impression I'm getting is just the general, like, we need to stop promoting, like, people complaining in school, like, stop promoting Halloween.
No.
It's Satan's holiday. I hate fun and I hate joy, so fuck you.
Yeah. And then when they summoned the evil presence, obviously things got 1,000% more awesome.
Until someone got stabbed in the calves by their own cowboy spurs.
Also, does this mean that these like these Christian jerks were right though? Like,
well, I mean,
they summoned a Halloween demon, so I guess Satan's real.
It does come across as kind of in the beginning, like, oh, this feels like something new. So I'm wondering, like, why is this happening now?
Yeah.
So and that's never made clear.
This is why you don't print stuff off the internet and just read it as a weird JPEG.
I mean, like, whatever's happening, why is... It's never explicitly explained why is Halloween being toned down.
But it doesn't have to be. That you know that some certain school districts would probably go through that.
But I feel like... But why is it happening now, of all times?
I don't know. I mean, again, to me, I didn't need that because I've seen it. I've heard about it happening enough.
I have too, but usually it's happened a while ago.
Maybe it's different. Maybe it was different around that time in Canada.
Yeah,
no,
everything. You know, Halloween was heavily censored in Canada in the mid 2000s.
I wouldn't mind just a little explanation or like something that like finally after years it came into place, or because
I mean, there's definitely the sense that like they were. Well, the other thing that I noticed too is that the school is just cracking down in general on kind of not just Halloween but on fun. Because like we used to have these kind of days, but then these started going away. Well, we're not allowed to do this now. We're not allowed to do that now because.
But why?
They kept saying all will be well.
But
well, I'm again because probably there was enough pushback from certain kinds of like parents. The age of the Karen is setting in. And now the impression I got from earlier in the story was that it didn't start just with Halloween. Earlier that year, it's like, okay, well now we can't do certain kinds of lunches at school because it might be considered unhealthy.
Okay.
And we need to promote we also need to put in more programs to do anti-bullying. It's meddling from special, it's
the
special interest.
Karen.
Yes, the age of Karen. It's like Karens and quote unquote special interest groups coming in and being like, this is bad for the children. You need to change this. So now it's bleeding into everything, not just Halloween.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That just feels like a sign of the times. And you see it. I mean, look at how many, books are being banned still in schools here in the U.S. these days.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
One of her friends, her books are, most of her books are banned in schools. It's oh, yeah.
Yeah, but she writes actually good, challenging things that are actually kind of important for people to read. You know? I don't know. When your book is banned, you did something right.
Yeah.
Exactly. You pissed off the right kind of people, I guess.
I know this friend of ours is so grateful. She's like, yeah, I'm a band, right?
Woo!
Yeah, she revels in it.
That's actually a high honor.
Yeah.
No, it absolutely is. All right. Well, this was great. I mean, there was one or two little not syntax, but one, two little grammar things.
Yeah.
I'd see some words repeated when I'm like, oh wait, I already saw this word and this word happened again. But that's so minor because what I care about more is the thrust of the story.
Yeah.
And I know we were putzing around, but you could tell we were into it because we just started just reading the text and stopped tangenting constantly. I mean, we didn't quite get it all out of our system during the drag, so that's cool. But that means no disrespect to the story.
It's impossible. I'm a tangent monster. You remember that ritual you did to summon me? Yeah. You're like, please bring about more tangents.
Yeah, well, that's what I did because I was so bored when I was waiting in line at Amoeba Music, and then you appeared.
And you didn't know that all you needed to do to get rid of me is hey! Douchebag! Stop being a douchebag!
Hey, Benjamin, stop being a douchebag.
I still find it funny funny the way that it was introduced. It was David saying, hey, I like your shirt, and you're saying, thanks, my dad made it.
My dad.
What, the shirt? No, the ride that's on the shirt.
Yeah.
What? Anyway.
And that's how David and I got pregnant.
You were going to go a step further because that's how we made out for the first time.
Yeah. Wait, a step further than being pregnant? Well, I assumed there was kissing first.
You went a step further.
Oh, okay. I thought you said...
That's how we got pregnant, respectively.
Okay, I misinterpreted.
No, okay. Hey, you want to give this some freshness ratings?
Yeah.
Been a while.
I give this a pumpkin pie out of potatoes and molasses.
I give this 18 horrifically mutated children out of one adorable pumpkin cat.
I give this finally finding that shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Pearl after 4 hours of searching this one patch of tall grass.
Oh my god. Oh, all right. Just a little side note in my head. Here's a nice little end beat. Is the main kid lies down in the rubble of everything.
Yeah.
And next to him is the DS.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but the story is great as is. I'm just making
that's fine.
Little tweaks in my head. Oh, yeah. Also my only other note is that I don't know how y'all felt, but I felt sometimes the way the kid thought felt more adult than a kid of that age that I would see. But I mean it always gets that way whenever it a writer is writing as a teen. I thought the dialogue sounded fine. It was just when you're inside of his head, it just felt a little bit.
This is when it gets when you're writing in a first. I think that's why that probably did first person. Or no, it's third person, but keeping to one kid's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Or keeping in third person so that she could probably write more.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to fully grasp a kid's.
Yeah, it's hard because kids are smart and intelligent and have very nuanced thoughts.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But you have to it's a weird towing of the line between sort of eloquent speech and really high thought, like critical thinking, like where it's like there's an interesting in between that I think works well. And also, I just want to say I also have the same problem with Ray Bradbury sometimes when he writes children.
Ray Bradbury writes children a little too smart.
Yeah, they're very smart, but I mean I love the writing, but it is also like this kid.
Yeah,
come on.
At this age, I'm just assuming that.
What, does this kid go to Mensa?
I'm going to safely assume these kids are probably like 5th grade, like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah,
and so, because if they're still doing recess and all that, and they're probably older, that would make more sense to me.
Yeah. And he referred to like the kid watching big kid horror movies.
Yeah.
So I imagine like they're still like kind of at like the cusp of like the age where you like.
Yeah.
They're youngins.
Yeah.
They're still youngins, but I don't think they're that young. But so that's why I was like, okay, I can kind of excuse it. But I mean, it is hard. I think the fact that she did keep it as third person is probably the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
If she would have done first person, no, it wouldn't have worked. But so that's true.
But wasn't it first?
No, it's third.
Huh?
Wait, is it third or first?
No, it's first person.
First.
It's written
They kept saying the I. Right?
Oh, never mind. Oh, maybe it'd be better if it was. Well, no, because
I think it works because it's still like someone looking back on what it was like to be a kid.
Yeah.
This is like someone could be older who's recalling
like
this. It's not happening present tense; it's past tense.
That's
so.
true.
Oh wait, was this all past tense? I thought. Like,
it was all past tense.
To me, it felt like the.
What's your engine's exploding? Because it was not saying I ran and then this happened. It was saying I ran. Things are being described in real time in present tense. You still like, but this year this happened, and then the kid sat next to me. He had a pirate costume.
It's still a kid looking back.
It's still someone looking back. They're describing things that happened, not things that are happening at the moment.
But they're still a kid, though, when they're looking back on
Well, we don't know that. Again, we don't know how old.
But they said, but this year.
No, well, I would say, but that year.
But that year. Oh, okay. So it could be. Oh,
it's still,
okay.
right. Again, this.
That's true.
Well, I guess we just need to read the story all over again.
Okay, we've been here for almost 2 hours. Let's go.
All right.
Good evening, intrepid listeners. This is the Pasta Shade, the host of Midnight Marinara, and this podcast is part of CreativeHorror.com, a network of podcasts and creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. For more content like this, visit us at CreativeHorror.com.